morning, everyone. This is Bridget Patton with Soul Massages. And I just wanted to channel a message this morning because there's a lot of people that are experiencing symptoms of ascension, which if you don't understand what that means, it's okay, because I'm going to use a lot of language that is meant to create opportunities to think differently with new patterns, and also to shift that perspective in a way that allows you to really embrace these opportunities that are unfolding right now in humanity. So what I want to mention first and foremost is this entire video that I'm talking about this morning is going to be doing, having to do and related to revelations. So revelations, that word in general, has a lot of attachment. So before I dive into this, I want you guys to all understand that anything that we are attached to in the physical world, anything that we give our energy to, is going to essentially be draining our energy. It's going to be taking our power away. And some of the things that I'm going to say on this video may get you thinking. You may feel a little resistant to it, but I'm inviting you to know the energy that I'm providing. Know the energy, recognize the energy, and feel the energy. I 100% of the time am always going to direct you guys inward to your inner authority, because that's the only way that you will ever know what teachings and what perspectives and what part of the path that you're supposed to be going down, is if you're listening to your inner authority. So part of the way that our inner authority gets activated is through language and through the words and whatever is coming up in terms of the word usage that we're using. So the words that we use are spells. We're casting spells with the words that we're using because it carries a vibration, it carries energy, it carries intention. So when we're speaking things out of our throat chakra and we're, you know, either sharing a story with someone or giving an opinion or we're offering perspective, you guys have to understand that we are creating with those words. So that's why it's so important that we're mindful of the words we're using. When I'm using a word, I have gone deep with the word. So when I use the word revelation, I'm not just using it lightly. I'm using it without an attachment to it. This is the word I'm being told to use. And I realize that a lot of the words that we use as channelers and as guides and as leaders, we're doing it so that we can assist people in detaching the energy from it, so that we can take our power back and we can use it consciously and intentionally and on purpose. And so when I'm talking about revelation, I look up the definitions of words a lot. I want to know what the root is. I want to know where it came from, how it was being used in the past. And the word revolution, it says right in the definitions in the Bible, or in the dictionary here. I was also looking at the Bible this morning. The divine or supernatural disclosure to humans of something relating to human existence or the world. So I'm talking about something that has to do with our human existence in relation to our divinity, into the spirit realm. And so as we realize, and it's revealed to us, reveled to us, that our abilities and our powers and what we can do to create are much more than what we've been, been able to understand up until this point. I'm not even going to get into what we've been led to believe in those types of things, because what we've done in the past and the way things have happened in the past is not the way things are going to happen in the future. This is not where humanity is headed. This is not where you are headed. You wouldn't be listening to this message this morning if you weren't in a place to be able to receive the vibration of it. So I'm speaking a very high vibration right now. The energy that's coming in me and through me is clear, and this is what Spirit is asking me to communicate. So these synchronicities that we're noticing in the external world, you may be feeling a little disoriented right now. It may cause you to feel alarmed at the amount of synchronicities and even deja vu that you might be feeling in your body. And understand that that is your nervous system waking up. It is your brain realizing that there is so much more to this world and to our abilities than just what our mind can perceive. And so we're having a lot of opportunities to come into our bodies. We are not our brain. We're not our brain. We are so much more. We use our brain to communicate and to perceive, but we are an energetic being. And we're using that brain to facilitate and to do what we came here to do in this world. But the only way to actually execute and listen is if you're tapped into your emotions and you're inside of your inner authority and you understand what that language is. You're being nudged in a certain direction, and when you're being asked to kind of, release and let go of the path or the direction that you were on, sometimes it's time to move off into a different direction or set a boundary. And it's really important that everybody is listening to that. When you're being asked to take action and when you're being asked to do something and all that fear starts coming up, all those emotions start coming up, that is the return of your soul communicating to you. Your soul can communicate to you in any vibration if you are willing to feel it. If you are willing to allow the sensations to move through your body. It's when we want to hold on to that sensation and dissect it and project it and, attach it to the physical world and anchor it into the physical world, because that's what our brain wants to do. Our brain is like, okay, that hurt me, even though that's what's activating and triggering something inside of you, your spirit. That hurt me. I don't want that to happen again. So I'm not going to do whatever it was that got me into that place in the beginning. Well, the message is, when that sensation happens, you in that moment have an opportunity to understand that feeling, that sensation differently. Because when you understand it differently, now you can continue to receive the emotion, the sensation, the energy, the power of your soul, of your spirit in your physical body. Now, these energies that you feel that are uncomfortable and might feel stressful or feel like pressure, it's to illuminate to you what isn't working. It's to illuminate to you in some way something that needs to be broken down, to be destroyed. It's a destructive energy that is here to assist us in removing patterns and programming that aren't working for humanity. So essentially, it is your soul knocking on the door, asking you to act differently, to behave differently, to think differently. And so every single uncomfortable sensation, I invite you to shift the thinking around it and realize that it is love. It is love. And I'm not saying that the people outside of you that may have activated it, I'm not saying that you should look at whatever they're doing or how they're behaving or whatever, that's love. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the energy that you feel, any energy that you feel is love. It is love returning to your body. It is a part of your soul in one of the lifetimes that you experienced that you didn't have the consciousness or understanding to act or behave or shift in that moment, that is returning to you now in this lifetime. Humanity has the consciousness to be able to, and the awareness, there's enough people right now that are already transmuting and working with this energy, that have embraced their ego, that understand a fraction. Even I understand a fraction. I'm not going to pretend like I know all of the things, but I do know the energy, and I do know when I'm told something that I need to share with you guys. I know those things. When you experiment with the energies and you can see what the outcomes are each time you use the energy, now you can choose differently next time. Now you can see what Spirit's asking you to do with that energy from one of these previous lifetimes. So I'm going to give you a quick example, and I use this one a lot. You have to understand that our DNA and the cells in our body are overlapping with so many other humans on the planet that we can have experiences from another country in another time and place that happened, And today, in this body and in this lifetime, you're going to experience real, actual physical pain as the energy returns to your body, because your brain is trying to, relate to the world and the reality you're in right now, and not realizing that what's returning to you is from another time and place. And so that can get really confusing. It can feel sort of like you're going crazy. When the more you fight it, the more resistance is created, the more opportunities that there are for you to learn something about yourself. And so when we are living from a place of fear and we haven't integrated each one of these energies, because in the past we didn't know how to respond, now we have a lot of tools around us. We have community, we have guides, we have leadership of people that have, even people before me, I'm talking about even like Jesus and Buddha and Krishna, all of the guides that came here to pave the way, to create the anchors for us so that we could return to this consciousness. And so by surrendering and receiving whatever's coming in, it doesn't mean that you're a victim to it. It means that you have the consciousness to solve the problem. It means you have the consciousness to shift something. You have the level of awareness so that you can react differently. The past is not our future. How we respond in this moment right now is what creates that future. So the more of us that are allowing ourselves to feel these feelings and respond differently in a big way, that's how we make the change. The little shifts that we make in our everyday life, that is how we shift the collective. That is how we impact everyone across the globe, because we're all connected. Each one of our cells recognizes one another. So making sure that you're staying in an empowered perspective instead of looking at it like you're a victim of your circumstances. Of course you're not. If you're watching this video, you are evolved. Like, your awareness is evolved to a point that you can receive this message right now, which means that you have the ability to do something more than what you're already doing. So what is it that Spirit's asking you to do? What step is Spirit inviting you to take that you're afraid that you're not good enough? Maybe you think you're biting off more than you can chew. You think somebody else is going to notice it and take care of it. I hear people all the time talking about what the world needs while they're going to their jobs, taking care of their families, coming home, watching television at the end of the day, going and getting their Starbucks coffees. I do all of those things too. But what are you doing above and beyond to challenge the way that things are being perceived in this world? What are you doing so that people's perception of what's possible is being shifted? I hear people say all the time, people are going to think I'm crazy. I got to keep this to myself. Well, how is that serving? How is it serving by keeping that stuff to yourself? Yes, you may run and bump up against some repercussions because of speaking up, but you're not doing it from a place of, trying to pound an idea into someone's mind. You're accepting that you have an alternative perspective that nobody else has. And how amazing and unique is that? What would happen if each one of us shared our unique perspectives so we could see the big puzzle and be able to see the whole view by sharing and accepting that everybody has something unique to share, instead of resisting it, that it's so different than what you perceive that it must mean that what you're saying is wrong. And it's not. It doesn't mean that anyone's right or wrong. It means this is a perspective and the ability that we have to take it in and digest it and see, okay, what is that person seeing? Maybe the words they're using, not getting caught up on the words, feeling the energy. What is their intention? Were they coming at you with anger, or were they just trying to share their perspective and it triggered you? It triggered you to be able to receive a part of your soul back into your body so you could choose differently in the future, so that you can start acting out the spiritual gifts that you have available to you in this world. We need every single person to be showing up. If you're not fully showing up in this moment and being authentic with every person in your intimate circle, then they don't belong in your intimate circle. And it doesn't mean I have to cut these people out or anything. It just means give your energy and attention to other areas so that it can feed your soul, so that it can amplify what you're doing here in this world. Because that's how the communities get created. That's how we become more sustainable. I can't tell you how many parents, mothers, fathers, it's not just the mothers, you guys, it's the fathers too that are really struggling right now. Like I love that we're embracing the divine feminine in our feminine bodies, but the men are also struggling with channeling these emotions, the feminine. Like how many men can you see around you that we all can hold space for as they really share their emotions? I challenge all of you guys to look at every man in your reality as you're interacting and you're judging. I guarantee you're judging in some way, probably even yourself. I know I was. I'm saying this because this is the truth. This is what's happening. I see it with every person. I haven't met someone who isn't judging the masculine in some way yet. I really haven't. And so being able to hold that space because of the collective lifetimes and the way that humans have behaved with one another. Like how many ways are we put against each other to butt heads and get where? It's not working. If it's not working, we need to do something different. So that's what I'm inviting you guys to do right now. The revelation and the invitation in this message is I'm looking at the divine masculine differently. I'm looking at language differently. I'm looking at the words and understanding that it's a gift that I'm being triggered or activated. And I'm looking at these synchronicities in the deja vu as the veil is thinning. I'm able to see more. My perspective, my consciousness is expanding outside of my body, but also deeper within myself at the same time. I woke up this morning being able to actually see all of the cells in the body like transforming and morphing. Like that was the visual that I saw when I opened my eyes this morning. I could see all the little cells like connecting and morphing into something different. And I had several messages from people saying, I feel disoriented, something's happening, I can feel it. You guys, that's real stuff. It's not to be afraid of, though. It's not to be feared. This is a beautiful time in the creation of our future history where humanity is coming together. And so the revelation here is that we are receiving higher vibrations because it's time. We're ready. We are mature enough to make the choices and have the compassion and the empathy that is needed so that we can return to divine consciousness. In history, we were very intuitive. We were very intuitive. We were only intuitive. But then we started developing the brain so that we could, you know, become scientific, so we could build the things that we've built, the structures and, you know, the internet and vehicles. And there's so many other things that we haven't even realized people have created already, the minds that we have. So now we're bringing the two together. Duality is no longer an issue, meaning you have the answer. If you notice duality, you have the consciousness and the awareness to become a unified part of the collective for all of us. And so I invite you guys to really feel into your bodies as you receive this message and see, where are you shrinking? Where are you hiding? Where are you making the excuses that I'm not good enough? That person's going to think I'm crazy. I can't do this because I'm too afraid. You guys, we're out of time. We don't have time for that anymore. I know everyone can feel the pressure. I can feel the pressure. It's because we're being asked to take action, to do something. And I'm not talking about, yes, it's important to be an activist and to spread the word and to get out there. Everybody has a different role. But I'm inviting you guys to go volunteer somewhere. Get involved in your community. I don't care if you're afraid to be around other people. Get out there and see that there are people that love you. There are people, real people out there that do want to make a difference. There are people whose hearts are open just like ours are. And they believe in you just like I do. They believe in the future of humanity. That's why they're out there and they're doing public service works and they're, you know, looking to make a change. But we need to be able to see that there's other people ready, all hands on deck right now. And that is how the revelation process can go more smoothly. Tapping into those emotions, recognizing the uncomfortable ones are a return of your soul from somewhere in the past. It could be the Great Depression. It could be the Salem witchcraft trials. There's so many things. It could be all the way back to Egypt. What was going on in those time periods? What were you drawn to in school as a child? It's a little glimpse into your soul. It's a little glimpse into who you are as a spiritual being in a physical body, functioning through this physical body so that you can assist consciousness in its physical representation of itself. So if any of you guys have any questions about this, or you're confused, or you want to go deeper into this, you know how to reach out to me. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. I love you.